Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddie. One skip, I am. You're not. How you doing? Where is it? Your time of the world. Where is your time of the world? Day and night. Where? What place? Guys, thank you as always for allowing me to be part of your day. Over 18,200 of you guys, and we're doing so good. And I thank you because it's because of you. I'm only one person. It's because of you. We have a really great community, and I hear about it all the time, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. It's you guys, so please take credit where credit's due. That being said, let's talk about some stuff, all right? So, like 4 of you people, which is great, have asked me over and over again, Toddie, what the Trixie Layne situation, Toddie, the Morbid situation, Toddie, the injustice situation. You didn't say anything. I don't want to say anything until I feel like I have my facts in and then time to process things. I don't want to say anything out of being hurt or out of some sort of misunderstanding. You know, was there any hurry in me saying anything, to be honest? I needed to process it, right, so that I could say once and for all what I think and how I feel. So, guys, I don't know if I was manipulated. I don't know if I was played. You know, I certainly did not want to be a tool to be used against somebody that I have no beef with and that I actually like. You know, I like Morbid. If I didn't like Morbid, I wouldn't be on his channel. I wouldn't be commenting in his chats. I wouldn't respond about him. I would have nothing to say about him if I didn't like him. We know when I don't like somebody how I act about somebody, right? So I have never acted that way about Morbid. And now I've got people saying, and I want to be clear about something, because this is something that comes up on occasion. Guys, what's the point of working on your past to evolve in the future if nobody lets you evolve in the future? If nobody's willing to allow you the mistakes of your past, what's the point of working for something better? Well, I believe in second chances and sometimes third chances. And, you know, Morbid's past was nothing criminal that I saw. And if there was something criminal, I didn't see that. And why didn't somebody call the authorities? That wouldn't be me. I didn't know him then, and I don't think there's anything criminal in anything he did. Morbid and I'm pretty sure we have about 15 years, if not 20 years, between us. So there are things that he's going to say for a generation that's different than mine. I might not find that funny, but I don't necessarily think it's wrong. I just don't find it funny. That's just age. That's just age. I used to laugh, and I was a huge fan, and I've said this a million times about Howard Stern. Now there's things I cringe that I laughed about. That's time. That's age. That's maturity. You know, I know that when I did that live stream let's go back to that. Okay. Injustice was on Morbid, and Waterbug, was it? It was a Waterbug who called Injustice out. Now, I thought she did that respectfully. I feel like she had a lot more to say, and she didn't say it. And I heard Morbid try to bridge differences. I heard him there for Injustice. The problem with all of this is that I heard that live much later than I was getting messages in real time telling me that there's things going on over with Morbid on live and how they're picking on Injustice. But then when I heard it, that's not what I heard. So did I get played? Or did somebody see it wrong? Or did somebody get emotional about something and their views were skewed? Yeah, I think that their views were skewed. And I don't think... if you want to look for anything, we're going to find it, right? If you want to look for anything, you're going to find it. If you want to blame other people for your actions, you can blame other people for your actions. I didn't see anything that Morbid did to Injustice on that live stream. I didn't. I saw him try to be there for him. So I don't know why I started getting messages that told me that there was a picking on going on, because that's not what I saw. So I don't know if somebody was trying to take advantage of a situation. So I do know that when I did my live stream with Injustice and Trixie Layne, that we had 500 people waiting for a live stream, and I've never had that many people waiting for a live stream. So then I started hearing rumors that people were trying to siphon siphon Morbid's account. I would never co-sign that. I asked when I had heard that, and I thought, wow, there was 500 people. And I was told no. And then I was told, well, not by me, maybe by... Listen, it's not okay. We all work really fucking hard to get subscribers and to get people to trust us. So that's not okay. I don't want to be any part of that. I don't want to get a subscriber. Not one subscriber do I want to get dirty. I don't want to get one subscriber in a dirty way, let alone 500 people waiting on a live stream in a dirty way, because that's lying and that's misinformation. I've dealt with Morbid behind the scenes. I've asked Morbid for advice and help behind the scenes. One thing I know is Morbid has given me that. Okay? I've not seen that side to Morbid. Again, there are things on his channel that he jokes about that I don't think is funny, but that's just a matter of taste. It doesn't mean I think somebody's a bad guy. It just means maybe I just don't get that humor. Or maybe I outgrew that humor because I'm 61 years old. It doesn't even mean that I'm more mature than that humor. I just generationed out of it. And that's okay. That's okay. This platform was big enough for everybody to be on and to help each other out, because there's a lot of behind the scenes things going on. But the thing is, we need to count on each other. We can't have false information. We can't. I do believe that there was some false information given out, because I think I got some false information. I think there was some embellishment. Now, I've spoken to Trixie. I think Trixie Layne's a good person. I do think she embellished some things. I do think that there was some misrepresentation and or misunderstanding, or both. I had told Trixie that she should, if there's any misunderstanding, she should speak about that. I told Trixie if Morbid talked out of pocket and she has receipts, she should speak about that. If she doesn't have receipts, she should still speak about that. If not to let anybody take anything that you built away from you unless you have nothing to stand on to keep it. Now, there's a lot of things that I didn't know and that I don't know 100%. And either that's because people wanted to protect me, or it was none of my business, or they just didn't want to get me involved in it for whatever reason. But then it came down to two people that I like and their reputations. That was sad. That was really sad. I never felt like I had to pick and choose. Subscribers have asked me that. Content creators, not so much. I'm not picking and choosing. I hope to see Trixie Layne back. But I think we should be clear on where we're all coming from. And if we're going to talk about the history that we have in a career or something, we should be able to speak on that. And that should have been the career that we were in. People have asked me. Trixie Layne said that she's a retired detective. I don't know that the word detective should be used like that. Investigator and detective, I believe, comes from police force. Investigator is private, yes. So, again, but does that make somebody a bad person? No. No. Does that make somebody's trust questionable? Unfortunately, yes. Because I've told you guys, I had a CASAC. I was a drugs counselor. That's what I was. I told you guys, I've written scripts, but I've never sold anything. Came close a couple times. Had some things in Australia, actually. A television drama. And wrote something in... it was about Africa, but I wrote it for the UK. Anyway, you know, I could show you my writings. I can't show you much about me being a drugs counselor. It was so many years ago, you know. But I think that you could see it in my experience. Guys, we should never claim to be anything we're not. And if we have a problem being who we are, we have a problem. So, you know, I don't want to come on here and bash anybody. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, especially when I don't think that anybody did anything that was bad or wrong. I think that people wanted to be part of this community, and I think everybody could be a part of this community, but it's important to know the truth about people. And I think that Trixie Layne embellished some stories, and I think she saw some stories that maybe she saw in a way that we don't always see in the way. Calling somebody an out-and-out liar, it's really hard for me to do. Was there some untruthfulness going on? Yes. Was it probably to get to be, you know, to get more clicks and views? Probably so. Were they huge lies? I don't know. I would say that they were embellishments. But then you got to embellish on your own, and you can't claim that other people are going to vouch for you either. Yeah? Guys, this is a really hard video because it sucks that I'm here talking about it, but a few of you have asked about it, and many of you asked about it when it happened, and I said, just give me time, just give me time. So, I'm still friendly with Trixie Layne. I'm still friendly with her. I don't know that I'll do any kind of videos with her unless she can definitely be the best person for the topic that I'm talking about. You know, let's not beat people up, guys. Let's give grace. Let's give grace, you know. But let me just say, it takes a lot for people to get subscribers, and it takes a lot of work. And I would never co-sign anybody siphoning somebody else's account. And if that happened, and I saw evidence of that, I would be fuming. I didn't see evidence of that. Nobody sent that to me. Supposedly that's happened, and again, I don't think people wanted me to be involved in this. But I have to speak up for Morbid because I don't see where he did anything wrong. You know, I don't see where he did anything wrong with injustice. And he definitely felt slighted by Trixie. And I'm not mad at that. If what he said was untrue, Trixie Layne should have been on his panel, and she should have stuck up for herself and said, that's not true, and I have the evidence to show that. But that didn't happen. I feel like I was almost supposed to be the person to vouch. Like somehow I gave credibility. I can't be that person. I'm not that person. I can only vouch for my credibility and for the people inside my life that I actually know. Probably as clear as a cloud, guys. But I don't believe that because you make a mistake, you lose your career or your passion. So when Trixie Layne is ready to come back to social media and she's ready to be a part of YouTube, I'm going to welcome her back. You know, and hopefully we'll all get it right? In the meantime, every other day, and you guys have said, Toddie, you haven't been on Morbid since. I haven't been on Morbid since only because I work. I listen to Morbid on my way to work. And the other day I wanted to get on and see if I could do, you know, from my phone. But on my way to work, there's areas where I lose connection. Why am I going to do that? And then when I get to work, I can't be on the computer, especially, no offense, but especially on Morbid's channel, because it could be a little bit, you know, iffy at work. But that's the only reason. And I do plan on going back on there as soon as I have time and he's on when I'm off, you know. So please don't look into that, because that's not the case at all. That's the only reason why I haven't been on his channel. That's the only reason why, you know. So anyway, guys, this is Issues with Toddie. One Skip I Am. Can you believe Becca Scoops and her man Mitch are doing a live on Friday? I can't. I'm so excited about it. I can't do the Discord thing, but I will be there listening to her first live stream, guys. So that's on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. Pretty psyched about that. And guys, you know, please, you know, you don't have to be anything you're not on YouTube. You can just be who you are and let people decide if they're going to follow you or not. Okay? Guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Try to be kind. Thanks, guys.